we can go to our group as always, and we can go to File here, and here you find all of the PDF files that I uploaded here. Today we work on this file, and here we have all of the topics that I will try to practice together with you, and these are some of the topics that I suggested you to practice on the major turnaround. You can use the same approach on tunes, because these are just arpeggios and modes, so you can practice in the same way also using this list on tunes. Okay, so for example, today we are going to work on arpeggios in this box. I hope that you practice a little this material, and if you don't, you can anyway have an example on how I practice this, and I will practice this in two different ways. We can practice it using measures and rhythms, or sometimes the material is made up of too many notes, so I will just count 3, 4, and we will play the next arpeggio. Okay, and you will understand how to do this. The point is that to me, practicing the material in a really concentrated way is very important, because it's the only way to really understand if I know stuff. And you know, when you play, yeah, we say someone is better, someone is less better, but at the end, the only way to understand if you can do something is while you practice the stuff, the material, and how good you are in practicing it using rhythm, playing in rhythm, in tempo. Okay, so we will start now practicing arpeggios. As you can see here, full arpeggios, it means from the lowest note to the highest note in the ascending and descending version. Okay, so I'm going to explain this, but I will not explain this because you can find the full explanation in the other episodes. So I don't want to lose time tonight explaining all of the concepts, because you can find them in the episodes. Starting just from the lowest note to the highest note, we can try one more time, and so that we can do it together. Okay, let's go from the lowest note, 4 arpeggios, just to the lowest note to the highest note, then we rest, and then we will do from the highest note to the lowest note. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4, C major, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7. We do the same starting from the highest note. 1, 2, 3, 4, C major, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, 3, 4, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4. And now we do the same from the lowest to the highest and coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Very well. Starting from the highest note, going down and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. And if you are good in doing this, you know these arpeggios. Now we go to the next step, which is playing them just in portions. So we will play the inversions, 4 or 5 notes, and now I will explain you what it means, in the ascending way and then in the descending way. So let's go back to our guitar. And yeah, we start playing the lowest version for each arpeggio, because within a box we can have 2 versions for the same inversion. For example, for C major, we can play it here, but we can also play just going up 1 note out of the box. We can have the same arpeggio. Remember that I usually practice within the box, but when I can go out just with 1 note, I use that position. If I can go up or down 1 note out of the box, I use it usually, because there are enough notes within the box to play. Okay, so now we are going to play just inversions, and to do this, before playing them a tempo, remember that you can play them just to know the position. So C major 7, 5 notes means from the root to the root, okay, while 4 notes means from the root up to the 7th, so just the same notes without having the repetition of the starting note, okay. Well, now we are going to play them from root to root. Let's go, and just look for the positions first, and you play for C major 7, then for A minor 7, then for D minor 7, and then G7. Let's play it in tempo, and we will play ticka tucka pi, paka poka pan, ticka tucka pan, ticka ticka pan, always with this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. One more time. Okay, let's try to do the same now, starting from the root, the higher root. So we will play it going down, and the same for each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Very well, now we look for the first inversion. So we play from the 3rd up to the 3rd. Then the same on A minor, the same on D minor, and the same on G7. Okay, now let's try to do it slow but a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. And C one more time from the third. Now let's go down from the third. Always, if you need, just practice it a moment, the starting point, to be sure that you know where you have to start from for each arpeggio. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor, G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, and C major. Very well. Now let's start from the fifth. I would like to remind you that we are always playing from in the lower version of these arpeggios, because some of them you can find them in the higher octave, and you can practice them as well. But now we practice just the lower, just to have time to practice all of the topics that we usually. Starting from the fifth, so C major 7, then A minor 7, then D minor 7, and then G7. One more time, C major, A minor, D minor, G7, a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time, C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, and C major. One more time, starting from the highest note now. So I will start from G and I will go down. Let's check the positions first. C major, A minor, D minor, G7. One more time, C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor and G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, and C major one more time. Very well. Now we start from the seventh, going up. So we start from the B note and we go up. C major, D minor, A minor 7, sorry, D minor 7, and G7. One more time, C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Proviamo a tempo, let's try a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we practiced them in all the inversions, 5 notes, because we played from the root to the root, from the third to the third, and so on. We can also practice them 4 notes. It means that we will start from the root and we will go up to the 7th. And then when we will start from the third, we will go up to the root, and so on. And doing this, I can do this thinking more to the duration of the measures in the tune, because usually we play tunes in 4/4. It means that I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and if I have 8 notes, I can play them. If I have 2 chords in the same measure, I can play them as 8 notes. It will become 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 8 notes. And of course we can do all of the exercises that we did now also in this new version with 4 notes for each inversion. Well, let's try. Root position. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Let's go a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D minor, G7. Let's try now from the third, because here we don't go. No, we can try, sorry, we can try from the root up, coming down. In this, it means that we go from the root down to the third. Okay, and then we will do the same on A, then we do the same on D minor, and the same on G7. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. And this is from the root, going up and going down. Let's go from the third. C major, A minor, D minor, G7. A tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. A minor, D minor, G7. Now from the third going down, C major, it could be this one or this one. Let's play the lowest one. And then A minor from here, D minor from here, G7 from here. Let's go. A tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are doing from the third, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Very well, now we go from the fifth and we play just 4 notes. So C major, it means from here. A minor, D minor, G7. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Very well, we can go down from the fifth, so C major, down to the seventh. Then from the fifth, A minor to the seventh, from the fifth, D minor to the seventh, and from the fifth, G7 to the seventh. Always from the fifth going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor, G7. One more time. C major, A minor, sorry, D minor, and G7. And now we can do the same starting from the seventh. So we go up from the seventh, B, to the fifth. Then A minor from the seventh to the fifth, D minor from the seventh, and G7 from the seventh up to the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, and G7. C major, A minor, D minor, G7. Very well. And now we do the same starting from the 7th going down. So C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, A, D, G. One more time. C, A, D minor, and G7. Very well. And so we practice always the lowest version for these arpeggios in this box. You know that you can do the same with the highest one. And now we can go to the next topic. We just finished the first three points of this, three topics of this list. Now we are going to work on arpeggios again, but working with common tones, ascending and descending. Okay, so let's start from... It means that we are not playing the same inversion for all of the chords, but we look for common tones or closest tones to start with our arpeggios. And here we have to think for a while to what we are going to do first, and then we can play them. I start from the highest note and I play C major 7, starting from the 7th. Then I ask myself, here, can I play this note on A minor 7? No, I can't. I can play A. And this is the arpeggio that I'm going to choose. And can I play A on D minor 7? Yes, because it's the 5th. And I do it. And then can I play this note on G7? No, because it's the 9th. I can play this one, which is the root for G7. And we will do this from the 7 to the 7, from the root to the root, from the 5th to the 5th, and from the root to the root. Okay, so you have to think for a while just to be sure that you know which kind of inversion you are going to play. But this is the way that you will use arpeggios most during your playing, because you are going to play something close, something to build a melody with. Okay, so let's start. And I will play like this. One more time. I can do the same going up. Da do do da dee, do 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 da dee, do da do do da, do da do do da. One more time. Da do do da dee, do 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 da da, do da do do da, do da do do da. Okay, and now I can start from the 5th for C major. Now I was starting from the 7th, I start from the 5th, and I ask myself, if I go down, this is it, and then from here, A minor 7, it means that I'm start from the 7th, and then if I start from here, I can't do this on D minor, I have to start from the 3rd, and on G7 I can start from here, which is the minor 7. So now I know the positions: C major, A minor, D minor, G7. And now I can play them in tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. We can do the same going up, so C major, A minor, D minor, G7. Let's try a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, G7. One more time. A minor, D minor, and G7. And C major one more time. Okay, Now we can go down and we start C major from the third, and we will play. Then for A minor we can start from the same note, the fifth. D minor we have to go to D. And G7 we can start from D one more time, which is the fifth. So starting from the third, C major, from the fifth, A minor, from the root, D minor, and from the fifth, G7. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. We can do the same going up, so I will start from C, from the third, A minor 7 from the fifth, D minor 7 from the root, and G7 from the fifth. One more time, C major from the third, A minor from the fifth, D minor from the root, and G7 from the fifth. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time. A minor, D minor, and G7. And C major one more time. Then I go down and start from the root, okay? This is C major. Then for A minor I will start from the third. For D minor I will start from the seventh. And for G7 I will start from the third. So one more time, C major, A minor from the third, D minor from the seventh, and G7 from the third. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can start from the seventh. Then I will go to A minor 7 from the root, D minor from the fifth, and G7 from the root. So from the, we were starting from, sorry, yes, from the seventh, sorry. So C major 7, okay, A minor 7, D minor 7, and G7. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time. C, A minor, D minor, and G7. And C major one more time. Let's start now from the fifth, and here with the last two arpeggios I will go out of the box. So C major starting from the fifth to the fifth. Then I will play A minor from the seventh. Then I will play D minor 7 from the third, and I go out of the box. And then G7 from the seventh, out of the box. Okay, so 2 in and 2 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time. A minor, D minor, sorry, and G7. And go back to C major. Okay. If you are good in doing this, it means that you really know arpeggios for these 4 chords in this position, and it is a very good starting point to start to improvise. So it's something that you can really understand if you are good in doing it or not. This is very important in music, because yes, it's easy to talk about music, but sometimes when you have to play an arpeggio it becomes difficult. Okay, so this is my idea that I would like to share today. So let's start practicing together. It would be very nice to practice together in this group to learn things. We did this fourth topic now, and we are going to practice the fifth one, which is connecting arpeggios in a long line with the closest note. It means that now we are going to play always one note, always one line with arpeggios. Let's go back here. We are going to play one long line, always looking for the connection to the next arpeggio, and this is very difficult. This is very difficult if you don't know arpeggios very well. I suggest you to start practicing this in 8 notes without tempo in the beginning, because you can just ask yourself to play 8 notes and then think to the closest note for the next chord, and then play other 8 notes and think to the next note for the next chord. I start from the lowest note in the box, but I can start from each note of the first arpeggio. And now I start from the lowest, but as you can see, sometimes when you go on with this exercise, it becomes a loop sometimes. So when it becomes a loop, it means that you don't need to do it anymore, but you can start from another note. This is very important. So I do it for you, and then we try to do it together a tempo. But before I do it for you, just counting 8 notes for each chord. So I start from the 5th and I play. These are 8 notes. Now I have to ask myself, going up, which is the next note and the closest note for A minor? I am playing E, and I will go to G, which is the minor 7th for A minor, and then I will go up to the highest note that I have in this box for A minor, which is the root, and from here I go down and I play 8 notes. So I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm here. And now I have to ask myself, and D minor, which is the closest note for D minor? And it's the root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go to G7, which is the closest note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then C major one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. Sorry. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. And G7. And as you can see, I'm never coming back to the starting point. Now I try to do it counting and playing it a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. G7. C major, sorry. A minor. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. G7. C major. A minor. D minor. A minor, D minor, G, C, A minor, A minor, D minor, sorry, G7. Okay, it's difficult for me to say the chords. Anyway, you understand the meaning of this exercise, which is something really close to what we do when we improvise, because we look for the closest note for the next chord. Okay, and this is another exercise that we did together. Now let's go to our list one more time, and this was connecting arpeggios in a long line with the closest note. Now we are going to think about how can we play arpeggios. We can play arpeggios in different ways, changing notes order. And during one of these episodes I explained you that we can play arpeggios also changing the order of our notes. So instead of playing, we can play root, 5th and 3rd, 7th. In doing this, I am playing one note, not playing the second one in the arpeggio, and playing the third one. Then I start from the second one, and I don't play the third, and I play the fourth. And I can practice this in two ways, or in the inversions, like we did with the simple arpeggio, but also starting from the lowest note to the highest note. So, for example, an exercise that I do is playing just C major 7 from the lowest note up to the highest, and I do the same coming back. Then I go to A minor 7 and I do the same. D minor, coming back, G7, coming back. Let's do it together if you want, if you have practiced this. If you didn't practice it, it's difficult to do it now, and I suggest you just to try to do it slow first and then go up with the tempo. Always counting 3, 4, I just go up and I stop on the highest note, then I count 3, 4 and I go to the next arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Let's do the same, starting from the highest note now, always jumping one note without playing one note in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. And now we can do the same, going up, and then when we go to the highest note, we come back like this. I go to the highest note and I repeat it and I go back, doing the same coming down. Okay, so let's go. In between one position and the other, I just count 3, 4 as always. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. this is it. Of course, I can do the same starting from the highest. If you want, we can practice it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 4. Okay. In the same way, we can practice without playing two notes in between, and it means that starting from C, I will not play G, but I will play B. So it means to play it. And of course, practicing arpeggios in this way helps us in understanding how can we play them in different ways during our improvisations. The more I can practice this a tempo, the more I can hope to be able to play them during an improvisation. This is what I usually try to do. So starting from the lowest note without playing two notes in between, and let's go on like this. Let's see if we can. Before, without tempo, it means to do this. Then A minor. D minor. G7. Let's try a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. And so on. And of course I can do the same also starting from the highest note. And what can I also do with these arpeggios, played in this different way, is playing them in the inversions. So if I can play them in C, starting from the root position, and then I ask myself to do the same on A minor. Here I am playing one note yes and one note no. So I play the root, then I play the fifth, the third, and then I play the seventh. I do the same on A minor, root, fifth, third, seven, D minor, root, fifth, third, seven, G7, root, fifth, third, seven, and so on. And I can do the same in each inversion. C major, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7. One more time. C major, 3, 4, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4, C. Starting from the third, 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4, C major, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4, and C. starting, and of course starting from the 5th and starting from the 7th. If you want, we can try. Starting from the 7th, from the 5th, it means C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Let's try a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. And then we can do the same coming down if we want. So for example, if I start from the root, but I want to play it like this, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, G7, 3, 4, C major, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, and G7, 3, 4, and so on. So all of these combinations can be played, and I usually play them. This is. Let's go to the next topic. Adding chromatic approaches to arpeggios. Okay. Yeah, at the end, you know, it's always the same. It's important to be able to do it, but it's not complicated as a concept. It's very easy. Now I will play the arpeggio starting with the chromatic approach in root position. So I will play C major, but I will play a chromatic approach to the root, and then I will do the same to A minor, D minor, and G7. Usually when I practice this, I try to stay in the box with the chromatic approaches. So I don't do this, I will do it in another box, but here I try to do this. A minor, and G7, here of course I go out of the box. Sorry. Let's try a tempo, and usually I think to the chromatic approach as something coming before, so it's an upbeat of the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the same with the chromatic approach from above. It means and one more time. Let's do the chromatic approach and go down from the root. It means and then A minor and D minor and G7. One more time. A minor, D minor, and G7. And so on. The chromatic approach from above, always to the same inversion. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. minor, sorry, and G7. Let's play the chromatic approach to the third now. So I will play chromatic approach from below up to the root. The same for A minor 7, the same for D minor 7, and the same for G7. Let's try together. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. A minor, D minor, and G7. And C major one more time. Let's do the same with the chromatic approach from above. Always do the same inversion. One, two, three, four. One more time. And of course we can do all of these combinations of approaches from below or from above. Remember that when you play a chromatic approach from above, if it's part of the scale, it will sound, it will be good sounding. If it's out of the scale, it will sound a little bit dissonant. So you have to know it. And a lot of times for this, all of the upper approaches are usually from above are usually diatonic. But anyway, we can practice chromatic from below or from above, and it's the same. We can practice them and we can use them. But as you can see here, when I do the chromatic approach to the third for A minor, and I play the chromatic approach from above, it's the major third going down to the minor third, so it will sound strange. But it can work if you play with a good energy and good rhythm. And the same for D minor, the chromatic approach from above, it's a major third going down to the minor third for D minor 7. But anyway, we can practice all of this. Now I am explaining you and talking between one exercise and the other, but usually when I do these exercises, without talking, without explaining, I can do a lot of them in 40 or 60 minutes. It's possible to do all of them in very fast. Of course, it's strange for me to do it in front of a camera, and sometimes I get some wrong notes too, because I'm it's a new situation for me. Then let's go with the next, which is a couple of notes taken from arpeggios, closest note technique. Okay, this is a different approach, similar to inversions with the closest note, but we just focus on two sounds at the time, and I just would like to give you some examples, but you can practice them and you can choose some rhythms to practice them, and this is very interesting because they start to be an idea that you can use in music, in an improvisation. So if for example I play two notes on C major 7 and I play them with one of these rules, I play this major 7, I don't play the fifth, I don't play the third, I play the root. So I didn't play two notes in between, and I found out these two notes. Then I go to A minor 7 and I ask myself, can I play this note? No, I can't. I have to start from the root, and I don't play two notes. So I play this one, then I don't play the 7, I don't play the fifth, and I play the third. These are the two notes that I find on A minor 7. And on D minor 7 I can play the same two notes, because I play the fifth, I don't play the third, I don't play the root, and I play the seventh. And when I go to G7 I can't play this because it's the ninth, I will play the root, and then I will not play the seventh, the fifth, I will play the third. And I found out these couples of sounds. D minor and G7. Now I can choose one rhythm for these two notes, and I can play this. D minor and G7. One more time. A minor, D minor, and G7. Okay, I'm using the common tones technique and the closest note technique. And then if you practice this and you know all of the couples of notes, you can do it. You can do a kind of exercise that like the one that I'm going to share now. So I start from here. A minor, D minor, and then G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. C major, D minor, A minor, sorry, D minor, and G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. A minor, C major, sorry, A minor, D minor, and G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, and C major. Okay, if I do it a little bit faster without calling each chord. I restart, sorry. A minor, D minor, G7, C major, 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 A minor, D minor, G7, and C major. Okay. So this is an exercise where I have to control these two notes, but my brain is working in the right way. It's not for my fingers to go fast, but it's for my brain to go fast. And I can also look for the same couple of notes going up. So every time that I can't stay, I will go up. And I start from the lowest note for C major, and I play this one. Then I ask myself, can I stay? Yes, for A minor, not for D minor. G7 and C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, and C major, A minor, D minor, and G7, C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. Because I am always trying to have these couples of notes with two notes in between not played, without playing two notes in between. And all of these exercises are really helpful when I want to improvise fast. Then let's go to the next and then I think that I have to stop because it's late, but I hope that I give you some examples. Maybe next time we will talk about other. No, I think that we can stop here, so that next time we will talk about modes and how to practice something around modes. Okay. Okay. So I would like to stop now this, and I just would like to talk with you and just to know how was it. Have you practiced some of these exercises together with me? Do you have something to ask? Telmo wrote some comments. I have practiced with you. Okay, very well. The fifth is the worst. Okay. And do you have anything to ask? Dear friends, please tell something. Write something, please. Do you have anything? How was it? Easy? Difficult? Maybe some of these things are not easy if you didn't practice them before. I have done until the 4 point. This is difficult to control. The 4 point means arpeggio inversion with descending tones connection. Okay. That's good, Telmo. That's good. Up to the 4th is very good. Last exercise is intervals in 7th or 6th. Yes, Sasha, they are always the same arpeggios, but without playing some notes in between. So you can choose to play the root, not to play the 3rd, and to play the 5th. So you have root and 5th. And in this last exercise I was playing the root, not the 3rd, not the 5th, but the 7th. So root and 7th. And of course you can play them going up or going down, and then you can look for common tones to play from this to the next chord, and look for always the same relationship between the two notes on the same chord. So if I play B and C on C major 7, it means that I'm playing the major 7th and I'm playing the root. When I go to A minor, I will play A and C. So I'm not playing G and E, which are 7th and 5th. Okay. Silvano, chiarissimo come sempre, ottimi esercizi. Thank you, Silvano. Yeah, these are really important exercises that we can practice to play jazz very well. And it's a different concept from learning licks. But you can learn licks and create your own exercises around licks if you want. So all of these exercises are just a way of thinking. You can think in this way a lot of different exercises, and it means that you just want to control how some notes from one chord can be played on the next, and how many of them can be taken and how many of them have to be changed to go to the next chord. And we can apply this to arpeggios, but the point of this video, of this streaming for me, is just remind you and remind myself that the more we practice, the more we know, but we know also what we know. This is very important. So while you practice and you have a list of topics that you want to practice, if you can do the exercise a tempo, playing with rhythm, it means that you are good in doing that. And you know, music is so complicated and you can't see it because we just hear it. And sometimes it's really important to know something, uh, to know that you know something. And this is the way to be sure that you know something, because you can really understand when you can do this kind of exercise a tempo with rhythm, and in which rhythm you can do it. Are the exercises in the books? All of these exercises are not in a book. Some of them are in some books that I wrote, but I didn't write a book with all of these exercises, but I will in the future, because I have a lot of these exercises to write, to give ideas. But anyway, you know, I don't think that we have to do 1 million different exercises, but some of them very well done and be able to play them very well in all of the positions. And then you can apply the same idea of exercise to different material. So you can play these kind of exercises with pentatonic scales, or you can play them with triads, or you can play them with different scales, different chords. You can apply these kind of exercises to different tunes, and the more you do that, the more you have control, and the more you know what you know. This is very important to me. On the other hand, you can always ask yourself why you are not good in playing something, but if you are not doing the right things to become good, you will never be good in playing something, you know. And I always like to remind you the same. Internet is a place for business. Internet is a place where a lot of people thinks, how can I convince these people to stay and watch all of my videos? And I have noticed this, I know this from my past experience. When you say to people, you have to study all of these things, they stop and they don't do anything. And then a lot of people creating videos on the net, they just think how they can have an audience, and they don't think really to help people in learning. And this is what I think. Yes, of course you learn something, but you are not learning how to play an instrument. You are learning just a lot of little things around the instrument, not in a good order sometimes, so that you can try to practice a lot of different things and have different ideas. But at the end, I can say that if you practice arpeggios, for example, like this, or if you practice few exercises on modes like this, but you practice them very well on a lot of tunes, you will become a good musician. Of course, you can play using this stuff for all of your life without knowing difficult scales or without knowing difficult stuff, but you can play very well using this. This is not to say that we don't have to look these videos online, but we have to be careful not to lose our direction in practicing, you know, because internet is like this, is really interesting in concepts, but when you have to practice something, and I suggest to practice starting from easy stuff. Massimiliano is writing something. Quando ritieni opportuno iniziare lo studio di uno standard e una trascrizione, perché è davvero molto materiale, non ho ancora ben capito come organizzare lo studio. Perdono la domanda. No, thank you, Massimiliano. Massimiliano is asking for people. He also wrote it in English, so you can read the comment. I think that you can start immediately playing tunes. I was suggesting to work on this progression just because it's like a tune, but a tune with just 4 chords, and we can understand how to manage these 4 chords. But you can play a different tune and use the same techniques that I explained in these videos, and you can start working with them and you can start playing a standard immediately. It's not a problem to play a melody. It's very important to play a melody. It's very important to play a song and play different chord progressions, and you can learn a lot from tunes. Of course, it's very important. But if you want to become good, to improvise in a good way, I really suggest to practice arpeggios in this way and in all of different combinations. And it is basic material, but it's the most important material that we have in music. So yes, there is a lot to do, but at the end it's not a lot. They are just arpeggios played in different ways, of course, and modes are just scales. Not can we apply the same concepts for other chord progression? Yes, you can of course apply the same concepts to every progression, Roger. Blues, everything. Yeah, in fact the next step I wanted to work on, the next progression, I think it could be the blues. Let's start working together on the blues progression, but just always, you know, practicing this kind of stuff, because I'm pretty sure that we can work on arpeggios and stuff like that for a long period, and maybe learning some licks sometime. So licks and arpeggios and modes used in a basic way, but trying to be sure that you can play them. And then of course something that I really would like to do, and this is very, I think it is one of the most important thing, is to practice rhythm. This is very important. So if you want in the future, I will do it because I want to do it, but I think it could be really helpful for you too, practicing rhythm. And I wrote this book about rhythm, and I want to play all of because there are 3,000 exercises in this book, but to play some exercises from this book together. Because if you know arpeggios, if you you can play some ideas on modes, and some chromatics, but you are very good with rhythm, then you can really play jazz. It seems to be easy. It's not so easy, but you can really do it if you have a good rhythm, pretty good technique. But the more you play arpeggios, the more you play scales, the more your technique gets better. And so practicing scales, practicing arpeggios, practicing rhythm, and practicing chromatic approaches. And I think this could be enough to play jazz very well. Of course, I suggest you to transcribe from CD. This is very important too. So learn improvisations from the music, not reading. And this is another very important topic. Okay, so guys, if it's good for you, I think we can stop here, and maybe next episode we could talk about modes, and maybe we can stop talking about the major turnaround, and we can go to the blues in F to go on speaking about our how to practice. And it would be a dream for me to be able to practice together with you in this group. So put a metronome and be able to practice exercises together. It will be really nice. So if you practice arpeggios, if you practice all of the stuff that I suggest you, we can do it. We can practice together with the metronome and become better together. Okay, so guys, see you, and remember, if you like this and if you want, please share these videos with friends, and the more we are, the better it is for us, and we can talk with intelligent people trying to do the right things, not with people I don't know what to say. Okay, we can share and we have something together to talk about in an intelligent way. Okay, bye bye. Ciao. Ciao.